Before you watch this episode of our City Current radio show, I want to invite you to join City Current's e-learning and online personal development platform called Growth Current. I'm Jeremy Park, host of the City Current radio show and CEO of City Current. Growth Current is your exclusive ticket to attend virtual events with global thought leaders, national guest speakers, and experts who can help you grow personally and professionally. It gives you access to success secrets, lessons learned, learning modules, and so much more. Being online, you can join us from anywhere in the world. Subscriptions are only $8 a month, or you can do bulk subscriptions for your team. Check out growthcurrent.com to learn more and to join us in our efforts to power the good. And now, on to the show. Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, powering the good in our community. And with that, we're going to kick it off talking about something really cool and big that has comic book themed and hero themed with a Hero Empowerment Center. We're joined by LaDell Beamon. He's the CEO and founder of Heal the Hood Foundation. How are you doing, LaDell?
I'm doing really good, sir. It's just an honor and a privilege to have this opportunity to be able to present to the audience today. So I'm excited.
Hey, well, as I mentioned, this is hero themed, comic book themed. So let's start with Wake. Let's start there, this hero, and then we'll kind of work our way into everything that you're creating. So talk about Wake.
Well, the cool thing about Wake is that my high school buddy, Marthias Wade, we got together. Marthias has done a lot of commissions for Capcom. He's done stuff for artwork for DC Comics, and the list goes on. He was one of the Redbirds graphic guys, and we ended up graduating from high school together. So he was already doing a lot of big animation stuff. And so as a screenwriter, I was always writing different things. And one of the things that happened to me working with inner city kids was that I saw there was a huge need to have more representation, more urban representation, because I've always been a big Superman, Spider-Man guy. That's who I was. But I saw that there were a lot of kids that their heroes were like the neighborhood drug dealers and all these different things when they were looking up to these negative images. And I started seeing the crime rates rise because the kids were emulating what they were seeing and what was being presented in front of them. So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if these kids could identify with somebody who wasn't cursing, that wasn't drinking, that wasn't being demeaning, but actually was a hero? And out of that, Wake was created. And it was all about, I was just playing around with names and just thinking about what we're doing with this character is an awakening. And I'm like, wait a minute, an awakening. Let's shorten that and let's call this character Wake. And he has these amazing power spans that where he's dealing with sound. And you're the first one to actually hear this because we hadn't had an opportunity to go really deep into the character yet. But all of his powers are sound and frequency activated. And so there are different combinations of frequencies that allows him to do all these amazing things, from flight to being able to throw out darts from his hands, optic blast, the whole 9 yards, super strength, all these different things. And the cool thing is that the comic book audience actually has an opportunity to see his powers grow as he's discovering what's happening. He also has a team called Team Evolutionists with him. So it's a whole lot like the Justice League. And the comic book is based here in Memphis. So you're going to see a lot about Wake. We're up to issue 4 with a comic book. And we got people from Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans that are geeking out about the comic book.
Yeah, and you look at the success of the Black Panther, and I think the sky is the limit really for what the potential is, because to your point, for youth to be able to see someone who's like them, and instead of looking at the drug dealer as the hero, like now you've got Wake and you've got the team, and it's like, just like the Black Panther completely changed the way that especially young African-American and Black children saw themselves and see themselves. This has the same potential, and I think, and you're taking it even a step further with what you're physically going to build too, we'll talk about, but I think that's where you have a really cool opportunity to change a lot of lives.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, and I really respect you. You did your research. What's been happening? Superman, and one of the tie-ins that we're doing and telling people all over is that Batman has Gotham, is from Gotham. Superman, Metropolis, the Flash, Central City. But Black Panther, Wakanda, even though that's a fictional place, but Memphis, Tennessee, we're Wake. That's the home of Wake, and what we're creating is the Hero Empowerment Center. Because just like Superman has a fortress of solitude, That's his spot, his place to do what he has to do there. But with the Hero Empowerment Center, we're actually building a physical Justice League headquarters, or a physical Avengers Tower. And it's going to have everything that you can think of that's going to be able to transform young lives from villains into heroes, or give kids an opportunity that they never dreamed of before. So just think about uprooting Universal Studios and planting it in the heart of the inner city.
Yeah, and I think, how cool is it to, especially for a kid to to see a movie, to see a comic book, but then all of a sudden be actually able to physically walk in and be a part of it? How cool is that? Imagine if everything's coming to life and all of a sudden it's coming to life. And I love the fact, to your point, why not Memphis? Why not Memphis to have a superhero? Why not Memphis to be the hub for a comic book? Why not Memphis to have, this amazing Hero Empowerment Center to be able to change lives?
Absolutely. One of the things that happened for me growing up, for me to really get out of where I was, because I've lived and resided in South Memphis, and there's a lot of dynamics because I grew up in a single parent home. My dad wasn't involved in my life. And so I had, as a matter of fact, 4 people in my neighborhood. They ended up being on America's Most Wanted, guys who were my age. And so picking up a clarinet when I was in the 6th grade and being able to go from South Memphis to Colonial Middle School with a performing arts, and then go to Overton High School, it expanded my mind. So I saw things a little bit differently. So I was never involved in gang activity. I didn't have to worry about those things, even though I had the same elements that kids have now with a single parent home and all the bad stuff that was around. It didn't touch me because I had an opportunity. And, so just imagine going to Overton High School and you see Michael Green from the Grammys walking around in your school, because we used to have Grammys in the schools. And so the same pictures of people that I saw on television, I was able to actually see these guys in real life and to change my trajectory. And so my thing is, why not give this opportunity to kids right now that need their trajectory changed, because they don't have to live the same nightmare that they wake up to every day. And so that's a huge thing about the Hero Empowerment Center, is that we need this because so many things are left. Liberty Land, Al's Golf Haven, I remember Adventure River, Excite Celebration Station. There were opportunities for young people to just be a kid. And so now they don't have that. And so this is our gift to Memphis, and it's our gift to young people, and it's our apology for allowing so many negative things to happen to our kids as adults. This is our apology, and we got to make it happen.
The thing is, too, is it's one thing to build something. It's another to go all out in terms of what you're building and to really put the effort in to make it special and to make it superhero worthy. And I think that's what you're doing, is you're making this a point of pride. You're building something really special. So dive into actually what all is going into this, because there's a lot.
Oh yeah, just imagine, and Jeremy, I got to send you some more stuff, because we have some really amazing shots of the building now from the architects. Ross Witt Architectural Company is putting all this together. It's going to be done by Linkus Construction Company. So Linkus is going to be putting up, doing the building process. And we sit down with the architects, to answer your question, we sit down with the architects and the construction company. And the construction company, they did Collierville High School. And that's a massive high school with so many different things. But one thing that they told us, they said, we've worked on a lot of projects. We've done movie theaters, but we've never done what you guys are doing now. So this is our first. And so inside of the building, you have Memphis's very first 4D immersive theater. We don't have one in Memphis. And so we're going to have that same technology that you saw in Disney with the Universal Studios, with Shrek, with Harry Potter. We have hologram technology that's going to be inside of the facility. We had a dinner theater that's going to be inside of there. We got a super gym that's going to be inside of there with an indoor track that runs up under the bleachers and everything. It's going to seat about 2,300 people inside of there. We have an Oracle's restaurant, which is going to be an upscale restaurant that's going to double for TV shows like Hell's Kitchen and all of that stuff. We have dance studios. We have the Arcade of Champions. We're bringing back the whole arcade feel, but with a whole superimposed style. We have recording studios. We got a sound stage that we're going to be filming Hollywood movies in, because we missed Green Lantern from being able to film here in Memphis. We lost that to Louisiana because of the tax incentives, but we're a not-for-profit organization. So when we work with Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans, they came into Memphis and stayed 3 days with us. And we talked about the soundstage capabilities. Now that's actually happening. So Hollywood movies will be able to land right here in Memphis and film in this community. So there are so many different other amenities that's in the inside of this facility. We have over 14 different amenities. We have an urban garden on top of the building that's going to be growing vegetation. And so we have a coffee shop. We got retail on the inside. We got the superhero gift shop. It's going to be amazing. We have museum. We have the Museum of Heroes. We got the Museum of Hip Hop. So it's just so much in one place that you'll be able to go into.
The neat thing is a lot of what you're talking about relies on relationships, and especially like the Hollywood relationships, and that gives you a lot of credibility and power there. The other one is I feel like so much of it is timing, and to know that things like the Kroc Center have been successful, taking a lot of things and, you know, making it spaceship-esque, and then all of a sudden you have Tom Shadyak's Memphis Rocks, and that comes to life. And my point is, when you start seeing those sort of grandiose visions come to life and you realize, wow, it can happen, and two, like, it's really cool, it sets the stage for you to be able to do something really powerful like what you're talking about. And I think, so in other words, now there's a believability of everything you're talking about. It's not pie in the sky. It's like, yeah, this can happen. This is real. Like, so share when it comes to like relationships and what it's taking to actually create this momentum. Talk about it from that angle.
Absolutely. We had, when I said we had Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans here, it was so amazing because I had partnered with Two Unique Community Salvation Foundation, one of the people that's going to be inside of the magazine. And I went to LA with her to do film work for her magazine. And I did not want to go to LA. It was my first time. I was terrified, but actually ended up doing it. And that's how I met Robert Townsend, by doing a film pitch. And Robert Townsend fell in love with the concept. I had the comic book, and he said, wait a second, you have merchandise already? He said, you're like a young George Lucas. He said, because that's one of the things that George Lucas did with Star Wars, his merchandise, and we already had it. And so that relationship, the comic book, it was Martheus Wade, who was already doing graphics for the Redbirds that I went to school with, and that lured Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans to Memphis to actually help us start building out. And so I already had a relationship with Craig Brewer prior, because Craig Brewer did Hustle and Flow here. And I remember sitting on the side, filming, seeing them film Hustle and Flow, right next to John Singleton, who passed. But Craig Brewer opened up those opportunities for me. And then when I found out Tom Shadyac was staying here, I'm looking at how we're going to connect. So I reached out about 2 weeks ago to Lynn Sittler, and we're talking about getting us all together, working together, because this is going to create a fabric in the city where there's no division, but everybody working together from diverse colors, of different backgrounds, but all of us coming together around the arts. And that's what it's about. It's about using that art component and bringing everybody in. We even have The Last Dragon, Tamok, the guy who played The Last Dragon. Tamok is coming in. Michael Jai White, who plays Spawn, he's a part of this scenario. Ozone from Breaking, who's a fantastic dancer that was on Soul Train, that was in the Breaking movies. So we have all of these people that are coming in to be a part of what's happening in Memphis. And so it's going to draw Memphis talent, but it's also going to draw international talent. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk about how we can help, because obviously, you know, you've got a GoFundMe page now, but you're looking at raising money, and how do we help? How does the community help?
We're really, and I'm so glad that you said that, because this piece, we've been sitting down with different funder aspects. We've been raising money. We got the GoFundMe campaign out, most definitely. But one of the unique things about this is that we want it to be so community driven. We have a campaign where we're looking at for 100,000 people just becoming a partner, $20 a month. That will give us a $2 million income a month to really get ready to get this off the ground. It costs us $5 million to get it off, to get the ground broken, but it's a $50 million project. But $5 million gets the ground broken in the spring, and so we're a little bit over $200,000 into our goal. And so we're really looking at getting the GoFundMe out there, because I feel like there's so many different things when you look at how people are really giving away money. We call it emotional giving, because now with all the things that are going on with the racial inequalities and stuff, people are emotionally giving and not thinking about, okay, at the end of the day, even though you may be raising $12 million for George Floyd or all this stuff, at the end of the day, how can we repurpose that money? we can take that and make sure that we bridge gaps in relationships and giving kids an opportunity. So building the Hero Empowerment Center is not about emotional giving, but it's about purpose giving, right? And so now these kids are going to create jobs, it's going to attract Hollywood opportunities to Memphis, and at the same time, it's going to bridge those racial disparities because we want everybody in this spot. So we need people to log onto that GoFundMe page, to the link, and just start giving, and not out of emotion, but think about 10 years down the line or 2 years down the line, how does this affect our children? And if we had opportunities in Memphis like Liberty Land and all those things, why not give it back to our kids so they can experience the same joys that we felt being a kid or having a great time in Memphis?
Yeah.
The GoFundMe, www.hecmemphis.org. I have to remember their website, 3ws.hecmemphis.org. You can also donate on that site. All that goes into the same pool, and we're being very responsible with the funding, because if you Google Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis, we're 14 years old. We're going on 14 years old. We work with Master P. We work with so many different people, and you will see countless amounts of stories out there where really legitimately you've seen us reaching kids, being in the Shelby County school system, and so we're there. So yeah, just give, donate, spread the word, get excited about it, keep positive vibes around.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrap up and talk about it one more time, but mention again the website. So where do we go?
The website is www.hecmemphis.org. Again, it's www.hecmemphis.org. And you can also Google the GoFundMe campaign, GoFundMe/Heal the Hood Foundation of Memphis. And you'll be able to give through the GoFundMe app. You'll also be able to give through give on our Donate app that's on our website for the Hero Empowerment Center, and read all about it, www.hecmemphis.org. You're going to be blown away at the images, the videos, and seeing what it's all about on the inside as you unpack it.
Well, LaDell, thank you for all you're doing. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
No, thank you so much, Jeremy. God bless you, and thank you so much, sir.